Welcome to the Take 5 with Fenimore Series. We are joined today by Antonio Hebert, Investment Research Associate. Antonio, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me on, Rachel.
Can you share a little bit about your background and role?
Sure. So I grew up central Pennsylvania and found my way to Fordham University, where I went to school, enrolled in the business school, and stumbled upon Mario Gabelli, who the business school is named after. So I kind of got introduced to investing through him and started just reading about what he does on a daily basis, which is just studying companies, finding the good ones, investing in them, and holding on to them for a long time. And that appealed to me, so I started trading my own portfolio or investing my own portfolio into companies. And by chance, Fenimore was looking for a young kid out of college to join them as a junior analyst, and I fortunately was a senior at that time, about to graduate. So I was able to join Fenimore, and I'm getting to do what I love every day, which is awesome.
What do you see as the biggest misconception about investing held by investors?
So the biggest misconception I think that's out there about investing is that the daily price fluctuations of the stock market or just of an individual stock matter that much over the short term. There seems to be a lot of emphasis placed on, if the stock's up one day or down another day, or even on a quarterly basis, how it performed versus the market. And the thing I learned early on is that it doesn't really matter how good of an investor you are. I mean, you could pick all the right companies and be all in the right sectors and timed it perfectly, but the market's going to do what it wants to do, and there'll be times when you'll be trailing on a short-term basis, and you have to be able to look past that and more long-term. I think to make great returns in the stock market, and that's what we primarily focus on doing here at Fenimore.
If you didn't work in financial services, what would be your profession and why?
So this one's pretty easy. I think the first call I would make would probably be to the FBI or the CIA or one of those organizations, just because I love the investigative work that they do. Unfortunately, out of curiosity, I checked this out, and I think you got to have pretty good vision and not wear glasses. So fortunately, I don't think I qualify for those. But if it wasn't the FBI or the CIA, I always thought being like a treasure hunter, like Indiana Jones type, would be pretty cool. But I don't think there's too many people hiring for that. So I'll stick with investing.
What is the hardest lesson you've ever learned about investing?
For me, the hardest lesson has been about patience. I think the market can test you sometimes. It's very easy in practice to say, I'm going to be patient. I'm going to wait for the right company, the right management team at the right price. But there are times where early on I found myself, having to battle, FOMO. Am I being too cautious? Should I pull the trigger quicker or should I wait? And what I'm finding is that there are always going to be opportunities out there, and I think it pays to be patient and wait for the right company at the right time.
What do you like most about working at Fenimore?
The level of autonomy and mixed with guidance that I received at an early age here. I don't think you really see that too much in other companies that are in the business. And I felt really lucky early on. I wasn't forced to do things a certain way as far as, how I look or think about a company. I mean, we all have our general philosophy here that we follow at Fenimore about investing in quality companies. But as far as how we all get there and the different angles that we'll look at it from and the different weights that we put on different characteristics and variables, all differ, which I think is a good thing because it brings diversity of thought. But as a young person, it also allows you to forge your own path and kind of does what comes natural to you and ultimately be the best investor that you can be.
The Take 5 with Fenimore series is brought to you by Fenimore Asset Management. To learn more about Fenimore Asset Management and to view important disclosures, please visit us online at www.fenimoreasset.com.